I watch YouTube's best and most popular science-based lifters in order to make a list that is easy to understand of their top workouts. In this episode, we will dive into science-based chest workouts. I will only include exercises that are the most convenient to do, easy to understand, and the ones that are the most agreed upon across all the science-based YouTube channels. Let's get into it. Starting off with the machine chest press. Here we got 3 out of 5 science bros recommending this particular exercise because it's easy and safe to use and you get a deep stretch at the bottom position. Just keep in mind that not all machines are created equal. The one at your gym might not allow that deep stretch. Therefore, an alternative to this exercise recommended by athlean-x is the seated cable press. The only downside to this is the potential setup time. Next up, the dumbbell press with different inclines. Here we got 4 out of 5 science bros actually recommending this, because the dumbbell press allows a wide range of motion while being highly accessible at every single gym. Because you can put your bench at an incline, you can more or less train your whole chest in just one spot. One thing to keep in mind that both Jeremy and athlean-x talks about is the angle of your bench. Anything below 45 degrees seems to be the most effective way to keep your chest and not your shoulders activated. Another thing I want you to keep in mind going forward is most of the times the difference between a good exercise and a bad exercise is just a technique. So make sure that you have the right and proper technique in order to minimize injuries and maximize quality in each repetition. Next up, we got the seated cable fly. Here we got 3 out of 5 science bros recommending it. The other 2 recommends the dumbbell fly, and I'll get into why. My conclusion is the cable fly, although it might not isolate your muscle as well as the dumbbell fly, it's an overall safer exercise to do if you have little to no experience lifting. That's why you can see, for example, Ryan recommending both the dumbbell fly and the cable fly. Here again, you have a little bit of setup time, but it will be worth it. Next up, the push-up. I never thought that 4 out of 5 science bros would actually recommend the push-up, but here we are. So we get Jeff, Dr. Mike, Jeremy, and athlean-x recommending this one actually, but they all have a little bit of slight different variations of it. So Jeff and Dr. Mike goes with the deficit. So more or less we're talking about a deficit push-ups. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, so that was wrong. It's not deficit, it's deficit. But a deficit push-up or a banded push-up, or just mix them together, whatever. The reason why it's such a good exercise because you can do it more or less anywhere and it really hits that chest, and you can gradually make it harder by going into a deeper stretch and putting on a greater resistance band around you. The setup time might be a slight problem for most people, but if you're able to do it, science bros are doing it. So for the last exercise is a little bit of editor's choice, you could say, because I only saw Ryan Humison talk about this, but I thought it was so good and it perfectly fits the way I train, and I thought I'd bring it on because it's extremely time efficient. So you're doing a high, medium, and low cable press. You start up high, go medium, then go low, and you treat every single level as one set. This one has definitely made my program. So here's a quick recap of what we just went through. Number 1, machine chest press with or without incline. Number 2, dumbbell press with or without incline. Keep in mind between 15 to 30 degrees makes it easier to hit that chest. Number 3, seated cable fly. Dumbbell fly works as well, but if you have problem with your shoulders, maybe you should avoid it. Number 4, deficit push-ups. Use a band for more resistance. Number 5, the last one, high, medium, low cable flies. Treat it as one set. Go hard. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe. Peace.